Okay. On to, I guess, less depressing thing, because we all hear about how businesses are shutting down, especially over the past couple of years. What else do you do? We know it's a lot, and I don't know if we'll cover all of it, but let's start. Let's see how far we get.
So what else do I do? I think I mentioned earlier that I am a content creator. I have a YouTube page, a YouTube channel.
Link in the description.
Yeah. My YouTube page is called Mapike _Mrs. G. I also am a founder of an NGO called We Are Our Children's Keeper. I do a lot, guys. I'm a mom. I'm a mother to a 3-year-old. I'm a wife. I am
Let me know. There's a lot of exhaustion.
I was waiting for a wife to a 1-2-year-old.
No, I'm a wife. I'm a mom to a 3-year-old. I am an admitted attorney. I am the founder of an NGO. I am a content creator, and I am a semi-finalist for Mrs. South Africa.
Yo.
So that explains the sesh.
That explains the sesh. Sesh gang.
Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so I just decided to go on a quest towards self. 2023 was dedicated to myself, dedicated to reaching and achieving dreams and goals that I'd probably put on the back burner. I had potentially convinced myself that it was never going to happen. I decided to research Mrs. South Africa. I remember actually 4 years ago, I got tickets to attend Mrs. South Africa. No, not Mrs. South Africa, Miss South Africa. I got tickets to attend Miss South Africa. And back then, I had actually applied. I had entered Miss South Africa. And I got rejected. I was told I'm too short, I'm not thin enough, this, that, and the other. No?
Crazy how things have changed, because now, yeah.
So and then 2019, when I attended Miss South Africa, I happened to have been pregnant, right, at the time. And I think that was a sobering moment to say, it will never happen. You were interested in pageants a little bit and you wanted to enter Miss South Africa. It will never happen.
Hold on. So if you have a child, you can't enter Miss South Africa?
Well, things have changed. Right.
It used to be like that.
This is the first year of the change.
This is the first year of the change. This is actually the first year.
Married. Yes. Married, of course. But child, what does the child have to do with me being a miss? I guess that's why they changed it. Okay.
So I'll probably touch on that a little, and I hope it doesn't get me into trouble. But it was a sobering moment when I attended Miss South Africa, and I happened to be pregnant very early in my pregnancy still. But it was sobering. It was okay, I'm pregnant now. Now it's fine. I'm accepting. I'll never enter Miss South Africa. I'll never probably enter a pageant. I'm pregnant now. It's over. Years later, 2022, early 2022, someone's like, why haven't you entered Mr. South Africa? Now I'm married. Now I'm married, and someone's like, why haven't you entered Mr. South Africa? I was like, Mr. South Africa? What's that? And I decided to do my research, and wow, I discovered a platform that not only accepts women for their different backgrounds, their different aesthetics, their different come as you are. Not only does it accept women as they are, it celebrates women as they are, celebrates them for their fierceness, celebrates them for their achievements, celebrates them whether you are married, whether you are, no, actually, Mrs. South Africa, you must be married. Whether you have children, you don't have children, you have tattoos, you don't have tattoos. You are pink, you are red, you are purple, you are green. You are a woman in South Africa, a married woman in South Africa between the ages of 25 to 55. You are eligible to be
up to 55.
Up to 55. So it shows a more relatable representation of a realistic representation that you can relate to of women in South Africa. I mean, for example, are you telling me that let's make an example. A 15-year-old girl gets raped. She falls pregnant. She chooses to keep the child. Now she's 22 and she wants to enter Miss South Africa.
Now you can enter.
Now you can't enter. You have a child.
Hey, sure. That's the problem.
So I think it was because of platforms like Mrs. South Africa that Miss South Africa stepped up their game and were more open to accepting diverse backgrounds of women, because it's not in all circumstances that women choose their set of circumstances.
Yeah. You called it the biggest women empowerment organization.
I have called it that before. It is definitely the biggest. It's often referred to as the MBA of womenhood.
Yo.
And it really has been referred to
on 9 to 9.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah.
We love MBA here.
Yeah, no. It's literally been referred to as the MBA of womanhood. And, I truly, and I can say this now, having walked the semi-finalist journey since February. Today is
you're a semi-finalist?
Yeah, so
We didn't see that. I think...
semi-finalist. I'm working towards becoming a finalist and hopefully Mrs. SA 2024. So this is the girl to be voting for.
So what we're going to do is we're going to drop your details here. And then so people vote via, is it website?
SMS and Instagram and Facebook. So if you voting on my Instagram page, the very first pinned picture on my Instagram is my voting card. You like that picture, but you make sure that you also follow Mrs. South Africa. On Facebook, you go onto Mrs. South Africa's page. You'll see the album saying semi-finalist. My picture is there at the bottom because it was the first picture they posted. So my picture is there. You like that picture and you follow Mrs. South Africa's Facebook page.
Nah, man, big ups. And then what would it mean to you if you win?
Winning would
Actually,
mean...
words matter. When you win.
There we go. Yes.
There we go. We put it on 9 to liar.
So when I win, winning for me would be the crowning moment to what has been an amazing journey. I think it would be like the ultimate crowning moment, but not just for the crown. It's a working title. And I think when I consider the fact that I was inspired by the women that I engaged with, fellow sisters and semi-finalists who I engaged with in the journey, who are doing amazing things, women in business, women that are, top shots in their positions and corporate, people that they're doing amazing things. And I think it was because of that inspiration that I finally registered my NPO, something that I've been wanting to do, So winning for me would be finally getting the working title to do my part, to get my hands dirty in fixing our communities. We have we have many problems in South Africa, but I really think one of the biggest problems in South Africa is a lack of accountability from leadership specifically. And because of that, people on the ground level are the ones that are suffering. So do what you can, as small as it may feel, as small as it may seem, do what we can to change and uplift our societies.
Sure. Yeah, I love that response. And it sort of answers a question that I had in my mind, which was, why did you enter in the first place? I think you sort of touched on it, but I don't know if you want to elaborate some more.
The biggest reason why I entered was, number one, I wanted to almost challenge myself, test myself, to say, here's a door that could potentially lead to the things that you dreamt about. You wanted to see yourself at your most highest potential. Yeah. And here's the MBA of womanhood. Do it. Let's see how far it takes you. But I think that I was also looking for a place to feel that it is okay not only to be accepted for whoever and however you may be, but to be celebrated. You are worthy of it. So I think that's the biggest reason why I entered it. I mean, it's a platform that celebrates women for being women. Need I say more? You know? So yeah.